Hi, I'm Jeremy Gates, the Managing Director of Gaia Construction. I'm a registered builder and have been renovating homes and extending homes for nearly 30 years now. Like any industry, we builders use a lot of our own jargon, and I know how confusing this can be for some homeowners. Some clients can be too shy to ask or think that they should already know what I'm talking about. So today, I'm going to explain some of the common terms we use so that you can feel confident when you are dealing with your builder. You know exactly what's being discussed and your home will be exactly what you are after. Also, I have a bonus tip that will save you thousands of dollars on your build, so stay tuned for that. You really can't afford to miss it. Starting off with builder's jargon from the construction side. During the framing stage, you might hear your builder talking about battens. These are a length of square timber or metal used to hold something in place or as a fastening against a wall. For example, here is a picture of a timber batten for cladding to be fixed to. Rafters. These are angled supporting timbers that span between walls or other supports and carry the roof, which roof and ceiling battens can be attached to. You can see the rafters here on this image. Joists. These are supportive timbers which flooring is fixed to. You can see the joists here on this image. They run horizontally at floor level. Studs. A stud is a vertical framing member which forms part of a wall or a partition. Also known as wall studs, they are a fundamental component of frame construction and are typically made of timber but can also be steel. Studs come in different sizes. The minimum size that can be used in a specific place is specified by the engineer. Generally, they are 90 mm wide by 35 mm thick and 90 mm wide by 45 mm thick. But they can go up to 240 mm wide by 45 mm thick for passive houses. This is because you need more insulation in a passive house wall, so the wall needs to be wider. Studs are placed either at 450 or 600 mm centres. This means that they are 450 or 600 mm apart. Good builders use 90 by 45 studs at 450 centres, as this makes a home stronger and gives it a more solid feel and sound. In this image, you can see that we've used 90 times 45 studs at 450 centres. Noggin. A noggin is a strut used to give rigidity to framework. They are fixed between joists or studs to increase the strength and stiffness of the framework. You can see the noggins here. There are horizontal pieces of timber between the studs. Lintels. These are a structural item, usually in a horizontal position and made in timber or steel that carries a load over an opening. For example, a timber beam over an opening in a wall that supports the weight of the roof above it. In this image, you can see the lintel over the wall opening. This is taking the weight of the building above it. Truss. A truss is an assembly of beams or other elements that create a rigid structure. Typically, they are used to build roofs. In this image, you can see a roof constructed using trusses. Compared to this image of a traditional cut roof, which is how roofs used to be made before trusses became quicker and cheaper to use. Door jambs, also sometimes known as doorposts. A door jamb is a vertical portion of the door frame into which the door is secured. Other terms you might hear. Cornice. Cornice is an ornamental or decorative moulding along the top of the wall where it meets the ceiling. Here are some pictures of different cornices. Some homes will have square set instead of cornice. This is an image of a square set ceiling wall junction and the new townhouses that we built in Elwood. Eaves. Eaves are the lower portion and edge of the roof that overhangs the wall. Fascia. A fascia is a board fixed horizontally to the lower ends of the rafters or eaves, which guttering can be fixed to. Pelmets are a box-type cover over the top of a window used to conceal curtain rods and fastenings. Used with curtains or blinds, they are great for energy efficiency as they are very effective at reducing heat loss through the windows. Window reveals. The window reveals are the depth of the wall, internally or externally, from the edge of the wall to the face of the window. The depth of the window reveal is governed by the thickness of the wall. The thicker the wall, the wider the reveals you can have. This is the image of a window reveal in a home. Also, there are a few terms that you'll come across when discussing your building contract with your builder that you may be unfamiliar with. The three most common are prime cost? A prime cost is an allowance for an item included in your building contract when that item has not yet been specified. For example, you have not yet selected your oven. Your builder may include the supply in an oven in the contract price and specify the allowance that he has made for it as a prime cost, which could be, say, $1,500. If the oven costs less, you will receive a refund, and if it will cost more, you'll have to pay the difference plus the builder's margin. Prime costs only cover the supply of the item. Any associated labour, for example, installing the oven, should be part of the fixed contract price. Provisional sums are similar. The difference is they cover materials and labour. For example, landscaping. If at the time you sign your building contract you have not yet confirmed your landscaping works, the builder may include an allowance or a provisional sum in the contract price to cover landscaping. When the landscaping works are specified and the final cost is known, you may need to pay more, depending on how accurate the allowance was. To avoid budget overruns, it's absolutely essential that you scrutinise every prime cost and provisional sum included in your building contract to ensure they are realistic cost estimates. Make sure that your builder has not included unrealistically low estimates just to make his building quote look low, or put in a provisional sum where another builder has given you a fixed price quote. If the allowances are too low, you will end up paying more. Ask your builder to explain how he calculated the estimate and what the allowances were based on. Ideally, you would have made all of your selections and all of your works will have been specified before you sign your building contract, so there won't be any prime costs or provisional sums. But this isn't always practical, and it's okay to proceed with some prime costs and provisional sums as long as you are comfortable that they are realistic. The other common term that you are likely to come across in a building contract is liquidated damages. Liquidated damages are a pre-specified monetary amount that one party can claim from the other party for loss or damage that recurs as a result of the other party's failure to deliver the works under the contract on time. It must be a reasonable estimate of the loss or damage that will be suffered. It cannot be a penalty. We include liquidated damages in our contracts to guarantee our completion dates. So if we do not complete our works by the completion date under the contract, we will pay liquidated damages, which is usually the rent that our clients would need to pay while they wait for their works to be completed. We have never had to pay liquidated damages, but it is there to provide comfort to our clients that we stand behind our completion dates 100%. At the beginning, I promised you a bonus tip that will save you thousands on your building project. You may have seen some of my other videos where I explain all the benefits of involving a builder in your building project from the outset. Today, I'm going to share with you one of the ways I save our clients thousands of dollars when I am part of the team working on the design of a new home. It's simple. Use standard building size materials and build accordingly to standard size openings so that you can direct your budget to custom big ticket items like your kitchen. For example, plasterboard comes in widths of 1200mm or 1350mm wide. Typically floor to ceilings will be 2.4 meters high or 2.7 meters high, which means 2 sheets of 1200 or 2 sheets of 1350 plasterboard. If you were to go up to say 2 meters 800mm high, the cost is twice as much labour and a quarter as much materials, just for an extra 100mm, which will add up to lots of dollars quickly. Doors are another great example. Standard door widths are 720, 770, 820, 870 and 920mm wide, and the height is 2040mm or 2340mm high. These are standard door sizes and they generally cost between $100 and $300. If you were to go for a door that was 950mm wide and 2400mm high, this could easily cost you between $500 and $1,000 each. So if you have 10 doors in your home, this could easily be an extra $6,000 or $7,000. Also, if your doors are bigger than standard sizes, your architraves will be more expensive. Architraves generally come in lengths of 5.4 meters. Out of one set, you'll get 2 sides and a top for an 820 x 2340 door. If you increase your door size to 850 by 2.4 high, you will only get 2 sides at a length of architrave, the rest is waste. It's always best to ask your builder about standard sizes, as they work with them every day. We are always happy to work with you and recommend standard sizes if they're not specified. If you are considering renovating or extending in the Bayside area of Melbourne, give us a call. I would be delighted to have a chat with you about your options for transforming your home. At Gaia Construction, we are passionate about building high quality, healthy and energy efficient homes that our clients will love living in for years to come. Call us now on 9889 0799 or check out our website gaiaconstruction.com.au.